pretty long stretch to start the season. How's everybody feel?
I think everybody, feels pretty good, but, there's some little banged up injuries from some people probably, but, that's part of football, that's going to happen. But as long as we stay healthy overall, I think we'll be fine.
Do you ever think about maybe Coach Cochran and also the depth maybe being helpful when you have such a long stretch?
Yeah, I do. Coach Cochran, and, we go in the weight room, we work out, but it's more of recovery, and, he takes care of us in the weight room. I think it allows us to be prepared on the field when we take an impact, on Saturdays.
What are your thoughts on Trevor Knight, and what do you remember from what he did in 2014?
2013. Yeah, he's a great quarterback. I remember him having a really good game against us when he played for Oklahoma. And, just seeing him this year, I think he's having a great year. So he's a very talented quarterback. I think our defense will be ready for the challenge, but it's definitely going to be a tough challenge for us, but we'll be fine.
I know you faced him a couple of times now, but how have you seen Myles Garrett and their other defensive ends and defensive linemen improve from what you've seen on film this year?
Those guys they're doing a lot better job using their hands. I think in the run game. But those guys are really good at pass rushing. I think like I said, those guys in the run game are improving a lot. So that's going to be a tough task for us. But I think it comes down to who gets their heads inside and who wants it more. So it's going to be a challenge for us. But I think it's something that we can handle.
What's it like when you got pressure from both sides? I mean, a lot of teams will have one really good pass rusher that you can focus on, but obviously A&M and Alabama don't.
Yeah, they have two guys, like you said, Hall, and they have Myles Garrett. So it's gonna be a challenge, But I said our offensive line and our tight end unit, we're gonna be prepared for this. Our coaching staff do a great job every week of getting us a good insight on the type of player they are, and we watch film. So we just got to study film a little extra this week and just be ready for them on Saturday.
How did you see Cam respond after he gave up this big sack in the second quarter? Obviously the fumble, and how did you see him respond after that?
It's always tough, to give up a sack, but Cam's a competitor. He's a great, one of our best players on the team, so he's gonna have to let that go. And I think he did a great job of that, moving on to the next play, which is the most important play. And Cam will be ready this week. Like I say, he's a competitor and a great player.
What did you guys see from going up against Barnett? He seemed like he had a good game, but what did you?
We knew how good he was. Just a guy that, he's as advertised. He looks as good on film as he really is when you play him. So he had a great get off. I think he does a great job of using his hands. So, it was a tough challenge blocking him. But at the end of the day, we got the job done. I think it was a test to see what we're going to see for the next upcoming week, which means we're playing Myles Garrett now. So two pass rushers back to back that are really good, and I think it's just it's part of the league.
They could have done it better than anybody almost in the country. What's about them? What do they do so well in that?
I just they just the way they fly to the ball, they don't give up. They're always going to the ball. They force turnovers with the quarterback sometimes. They use some blitzes. And I think their secondary is really good also, so that can help it out a lot. When you have pass rushers like they have, that also can affect the quarterback in the way he gets rid of the ball so fast. So I think that's what all ties down to in the way they create turnovers.
What kind of guidance have you given Miller, and especially on the run blocking side of things?
It's all about technique. Miller's he's not one of the biggest guys that play tight end. Neither was I. I'm still not. But when you don't have size, you definitely got to rely on technique a lot. And I think he's done a great job of doing that, using his hands and using great footwork.
Does their safeties remind you of anyone in particular?
Not anyone that I could think of that I played against, but they do have a really good safety in number 14. He's a guy that loves to come down and make the tackle in the box. So we're going to have to do a great job eliminating him out of the run game. He's one of those guys that love to come down and hit. So it's going to have to be a challenge to get rid of him in the run game.
Now that your run game Alabama's run game has sunk up more, especially against Tennessee, how much more blocking are you having to do for the running backs?
I don't think it's more. I think it's the same as I expected. Maybe we may come in the game and run the ball a little more than we probably wanted to, but every game I go into, I'm prepared to block first. I know that we have great running backs, and with your great running attack, that's what allows the passing game to open up. So every game I'm prepared to go in and run block.
OJ, I know it's the other side of the ball, but what's the feeling among players just about the way that Anthony Everett's played now he's come along?
I'm really happy for him in general, but I think he's done a great job of just coming on the scene and playing defensive back for us. You know, it's a tough position to play, and you know, he's done an outstanding job for us. Can't say that enough. You know, he's a guy that, you know, he had to go through a little adversity, but he just waited his turn, and now he's making the most of his moment.
OJ, several times this year, Jalen's kind of struggled to get off out of the gate. And then he has a turnover, not always his fault, and kind of responds. What have you seen when he does make a mistake like that, or if he gets chewed out by Nick? You know, how have you seen him answer the call?
You know, he's always got the same, you know, personality and the same emotions no matter what he does. So he's just a calm guy, and that's really good to see from a young guy like him. And I think that's what makes him so great. He just don't let anything get to him, just stay focused on the game and in the moment. And he just shakes it off and move on to the next play.
So you don't see any change at all in his personality and his approach at all?
Not at all, man. He may say something like, as far as, you know, we need to pick it up a little bit, talk to the offense, but as far as him getting upset and pouting, he never does that.
Going back to your run blocking with Jalen in specific, do you have to keep an eye on him for when he does like to take off now?
Yeah, you have to be ready for, you know, whenever the quarterback may get in some trouble when he's trying to pass the ball. So I'm always ready for the quarterback scramble. So, you know, that's just playing football. You always stand alive and expecting things that may not have happened.
How would you grade his block he put on that one touchdown run?
Grady, Jalen's block? No, he just got in the way. He you know, but you don't want your quarterback blocking. You don't want him to get hurt. But he did a great enough job for Darius to score. So that's an A+ for him.
Last time they played here, it was 59-0. Is that something you still think about? Is it like a once in a lifetime thing? Is it hard to get much better than that?
Oh yeah. You know, I really didn't think about that. You know, I was on the team that year, but you know, I was, you know, really focused on the time we played them last year. You know, but like you said, that was a game where we just came out. You know, our team was ready to play, and you know, it was one of those days. You know, you can't always go out and put up 59 points on an SEC opponent, but it was just one of those games.
Thanks, OJ.
Yeah. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Playing the sugar ball against Oklahoma.
Nah, I was kickoff return. That was it.
What are you seeing from their running back, Trayvon Williams?
Man, he's a good back, man. Elite.
What does he bring to their offense that maybe they haven't had in other years?
Well, they're more, you know, they always been like a spread team, throw first team, you know, run second. But now this dude changed that, man. They more committed to the run. They're gonna make you stop the run before they pass.
What's the main thing that sticks out about him? The speed.
Yeah, like I said, he's elite. He's a good back.
The offense kind of look like what you guys do with the read option.
Yeah, I got a good quarterback. Trevor Knight make all the throws, can run, he can hurt you with his legs and his arms. So, you know, it's definitely going to be a challenge for us, man.
How similar are they to y'all in offense from what you see from your guys?
I don't want to compare them to our offense, you know. They're a good offense.
What have you seen from Tim the last couple of games? It seems like he's even been at like another level the last couple of games.
Shoot, the dude unreal, man. I can't explain it. He's good at what he do. He's very good at what he do.
You noticed like an elevated play? I mean, especially since he served his 1/2 suspension, it seems like he's been on another level.
Yeah, I could tell, you know, that little stump, you know, kind of brought him back down, you know, help him resurface. He's been a lot more focused up here, a lot more, you know, doing the things he needs to do, getting treatment, watching film, and he's growing as a player, you know, along with growing as a man, you know what I mean? So that's really helping him out a lot.
What is this team in terms of chemistry and overall togetherness?
I feel like everybody real close on this team, man. That's how it's been the last few years. And as you know, as a guy that's been around on some teams that wasn't like that, I wasn't gonna leave here and, you know, let that go back. I wanted to set a good example for all these younger guys. You know, even if it's just the younger guys in my position group, you know what I mean? Just get them and spend time with them. You know, you got a lot of guys that's young, you know, red shirt on scout team, and they probably feeling just like I felt. You know what I mean? Like you really not part of the team. You know what I mean? So I just try to make sure everybody, you know, get those guys the most. You know, put your arm around them and just let them know to keep working and that we all love them and we appreciate what they're doing.
There are a couple of younger guys at your position, Anthony Jennings and Christian Miller. How have you seen them develop?
Christian and Anthony, they're really growing as players. You know what I mean? Christian getting better every day. Anthony's getting better every day. And those two dudes are going to be real good. And then Terrell Hall, he's getting better. T. Hall, he's a very smart kid. you know what I mean? So he catch on to stuff like the first time you tell him. And he's learning how to play. He's learning how to practice hard so he can play hard, you know what I mean? So it's fun watching that.
How about from just a physical standpoint, where you guys stand? It's been a long stretch. Played 7 games in the bye week.
We just get in the stretch, man. We just get in the stretch. We're in the, second, third quarter? We all right.
What's third down defense? You guys seem like it's been pretty good at that, maybe even better than you were last year. What's different about it, do you think?
Guys understand what they're doing and why they're doing it. You know what I mean? A lot of us came back, we got more experience. So we ain't making the mistakes that we made early on in the year, you know, that helped us get better, that much better later on down the road.
How much do you think the extra, I mean, you're playing a lot more first and second down. It's like last year you were strictly a third down player, not necessarily strictly, but mostly a third down player.
No, man, I played more first and second down last year.
Okay.
I ain't play that much third down.
Okay. Do you think that experience helped you at this point then?
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
You see you guys joking around on social media, just sort of playful stuff. How much has that helped the chemistry, being able to have fun with each other?
Like I said, you know, everybody, we close, man. We all love each other, so I wouldn't say that's really a big factor. It's, you know, when I get up every day, you know, I look forward to coming here and seeing my teammates, man. And it's like when we get a break or something, you know, everybody be ready to get a break, but then after I'm home or I don't see them for 2 or 3 days, I miss them, man. So we all be ready to get back.
How much do you like playing in that nickel rabbits package?
It's all right. Same as dime rabbits, you know, we keep the inside linebacker in.
Mm-hmm.
But I like it for my position group. You know, we get another jack on the field.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Since the first game or even last year, where do you feel your play has grown?
I feel like I'm smarter, you know what I mean? I'm smarter than I was. I'm preparing better. I know what it takes, you know, I know what it takes to go out there and, you know, to be able to play winning football. Sometimes it ain't just about you. You got to know the next man's job too, you know what I mean? In case he don't hear, you got to let him know what he got.
With how much y'all been scoring on defense, have you figured out a way to kind of like know if there's been an interception or a fumble to switch to you're going down the other end of the field?
Man, I don't like blocking. I'm gonna tell you that now. I really don't like running away down the field, you know. But like when Minka caught that 100-yard pick, I was trying to tell him to stay in. I was a little tired. So, you know, you gotta, like you say, you see it, you just gotta go get in somebody's way or do what you gotta do to spring them. But it is what it is.
You said the other day that y'all train for that kind of stuff, the way, the angles to take on the
Yeah.
block. And how much is that just kind of repetition at this point when that happens?
It's second instinct now. You know what I mean? You gotta go find somebody and get in front of them.
You had a good one yet? A good block? Anything that stands out in your memory?
No, I just get in front of them. It's usually offensive linemen. They can't do too much. Just get in their way.
Just talking about top 5 matchup, undefeated against undefeated, you know, middle of the season, that's what you play for, right?
I wouldn't blow it out of proportion. You know what I mean? It's the next game, and we play in a tough conference. So every game it's a big win. The rankings don't mean nothing, man. Rankings don't mean nothing. Like that year we went to Arkansas, we played them, won 14-13. I don't know if they even ranked. Like in this conference, you're gonna get somebody best shot every week. So every week is a tough game.